What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Domuto. We back with another video. Today, we are watching the Geek for Fun What If Goku Was in DC Part 12. And this story just gets better and better, man. We watch it, and and I love watching it with y'all, Y'all be running the numbers up, man, so I really appreciate that. But, can y'all check out my new video I made with my friend, Young Joe 337. Gonna be either in the description or you can catch it up here. It's a top 5 movie scenes. I think it's a good video to me, but check it out for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't really usually promote videos like that, but I think it's a good video that we made. So go check it out if you got time. But anyway, let's get into this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, babe.
Lex Luthor is President of the United States.
Yeah.
After the reported death of Kakarot Kent and a dramatic increase in organized supervillain activity, I thought this year couldn't get any weirder. But the universe seems to be offended by my opinions and is determined to prove me wrong on almost a daily basis. So, here we are now. The Planet is one of the few papers not owned by LexCorp. A fact that lets you know what I'm about to say hasn't been bought. Luthor is honest. At the start of this campaign, he told us not to trust him. Every opportunity I've had to try and bring up his rumored affiliations with the criminal element haven't been suppressed. He's not gone so far as to admit to anything, but he's not running from his past. That's rare, and something I can't entirely condemn. What is concerning is he won in a landslide despite all of this. This may be an example of the American people believing in their heroes, in their Superman. But the cynic in me can't help but ask, after everything we've been through, does the world really need a Superman?
Unknown to his friends on Earth, the Super Saiyan was very much alive and had become known throughout the galaxy.
Geek. Come on now, Geek.
A legend of old, reborn through the deeds of a lone warrior in a beat-up spaceship, planting seeds from a living world wherever he went, seeking the best challenges along his journey. He met up with some old friends. The bounty hunter, Lobo, crossed his path, and the two had their fated rematch. However, the drastic increase in Kakarot's powers caused Lobo to ask for a drink and a meal a little bit earlier than last time. After a few rounds, Kakarot asked what he'd been doing, to which Lobo told him of a hunt for a new figure making his name heard throughout the galaxy. Atrocitus, the inversion, escaped from his bindings and now contained the entity of rage, the Butcher, beginning to form his own corps of Red Lanterns. Kakarot asked to tag along, and together they fought against the mighty Beast of Rage, who had learnt to harness the power of the Butcher on a scale never before seen in the universe. Kakarot became aware that in the aftermath of the Justice League's collection of the entities, their odyssey was now being told across the stars, with one particular detail being the most prominent. The entities could be controlled. Now, multiple Lantern Corps were being formed in all sectors of space, changing the course of history forever.
What say you, brother? Does the Super Saiyan seem a tad disappointing?
He's a pipsqueak, barely tall enough to eye my breast, even with that hair of his. The History Codex must have been greatly exaggerating his strength.
So, do you guys want to fight, or are you just gonna stand there and talk? It's pretty weird.
The time travelers Atlas and Samson came across Kakarot during his stay on the planet Ran, where he had saved the entire planet from being devoured by the Solar Shark.
They put emphasis like we knew who that was.
The pair challenged Kakarot to a bout, and were quickly shown that the history books don't quite tell you how a master's fist to the gut feels. In the end, there were no hard feelings, and the two left with a little bit more respect for older martial arts traditions.
Okay.
The next deed nearly cost the Saiyan his life. Two powerful species, the Thanagarians and the Tamaranians, decided to eventually form a truce once they had heard of the Super Saiyan entering their solar system. They wished to take revenge for all the crimes the Saiyans had committed against them in the past. Kakarot was in part happy for the challenge, but eventually just wanted them to knock it off. The leaders began to view the Saiyan as too powerful to destroy with conventional weapons, resorting to using an experimental device developed by the Tamaranians. One that would use nth metal to harness the power of their star into a single blast to destroy the martial artist. Unfortunately, the device failsafe malfunctioned and their star was turned black, drained of all its energy. Things seemed hopeless until the very men they had tried to kill volunteered to be sent into the star itself. The two racers reluctantly giving him a suit that would allow him to survive in the unforgiving conditions of space. Kakarot unleashed all of his energy at once, pushing the Super Saiyan form to its absolute limits of power, and then beyond them, until finally his power reignited a star. The Tamaranians and the Thanagarians now had possession of a Saiyan on the brink of death, rescuing him from the sun with their gravity manipulation technology, and they made a unanimous decision. Surprisingly, they nursed him back to health, and for the moment decided to honor the fighter that had saved them from their own revenge-filled path. The Super Saiyan was no longer the beast of death. From now until the end of time, their cultures would refer to the legend as the Warrior of Life. Not all his accomplishments would be positive, as Kakarot was sent through a deadly series of tests by the new god Metron, who wished to analyze the Super Saiyan.
Oh, the chair. Okay, I heard this before.
Kakarot became lost in a time schism.
Didn't like Batman
and
sell him
only
the chair or
through
something?
strength of
And
will
like found out who killed his parents.
fought his way back, year by year, cementing the legend
I know
of the
a little
Super
bit about the
Saiyan,
comic books, you know
not
what I'm
just
saying?
throughout space, but time. How he escaped Metron
And like he
is
tortured
a
like the
story
person that
for
killed his
another day.
parents.
Kakarot's deeds were mostly combat related. Despite wanting to help, at his core, he was still someone who sought the best challenges and wished to improve himself. But occasionally, he would actually be a voice of reason in a dire situation. A rogue, fifth-dimensional princess was unable to control her immense reality-warping power,
What is
and
Kakarot
would have
Space
succeeded
Adventures, nigga?
in accidentally unwriting
That would
the
be hey,
multiverse.
that is a
Had
fire
Kakarot
show.
not been able to speak to her in simple terms, letting her focus and control her power through the freedom of imagination, escaping the fear of logic alongside the smiling Saiyan.
Thanks so much, Mr. Goku. Is there anything I can do to help you out?
Well, I've been trying to figure out how to get back to Earth for a while now.
Sure thing.
Unfortunately, from a fifth-dimensional perspective, one Earth was just as good as another, leading to the Saiyan encountering his female counterpart from another Earth. Her name was Cauliflower.
Oh my god.
She and her girlfriend Kale fought
Girlfriend.
Nazi spies in this bombshell of a universe.
Whoa, so that must mean you're me, but a girl! That's pretty funny!
What do you mean, funny?
Huh? Just, well, this whole place, I guess.
Funny how? What's funny about it?
Cauliflower, I don't think he meant any harm by it.
Nah, Kale. He's a big boy. He knows what he said. What'd you say? Funny how?
Just,
What?
you know, you're funny.
You mean, let me understand this, cause, maybe it's me. I'm a little f***ed up, maybe. But I'm funny how? I mean, I'm funny like a clown, I amuse you? I make you laugh, I'm here to amuse you? What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
I don't know. I didn't mean nothing.
No, I don't know how. You said it.
You
how
said
do I
it.
know?
You did say
You
it.
said I'm funny. How the f*** am I funny? What the f*** is so funny about me? Tell me what's funny.
Your hat?
My hat. I'm pulling your leg, you marbleheaded maroon. My hat. You hear that, Gale? I like this guy.
While Kakarot's adventures were continuing in space, on the planet Earth, things were just as eventful. Steve Trevor approached Vegeta's cell. He hadn't seen the Saiyan since that battle on the beach of Themyscira, and he hated to admit it, but Diana was right about him. She was always right. The guy was a jerk, sure, but he did come back to help. Ultimately, though, since Steve Trevor was the victim of Vegeta's invasion of Earth, Wonder Woman left this next step up to him. And so, Steve opened the cell door yet again, feeling no less uneasy than he had the last time.
She's down on the beach. Says there's an opportunity waiting for you, but I had to let you take it.
Vegeta exited the dungeons and headed off to the same beach his most recent battle had taken place on.
Prince Vegeta, you have been given time. You have been shown mercy, and you have proven valor. Yet the people you wronged cry for your head because they have not been present to witness any of it, except for one, and he has granted this opportunity to you.
Well, at least the doorman's useful for something. What's all this nonsense about opportunity?
When Kakarot convinced me to spare your life, he rightly claimed you never had a chance to be anything better than you were. I have given you that chance, and now we shall see if you have grown from it.
Wonder Woman waved her hand, and suddenly Vegeta's restraining armor began to glow as its charms were removed temporarily. Vegeta was in shock, unable to believe what had just happened. But before he could react, Wonder Woman was charging at him. He blocked instinctively, and yet was still hit across the head by a rapid kick. Her assault was unrelenting. After a short time, the prince stopped trying to block and went back on the offensive. The two continued to clash for what seemed like forever, before they became locked in a grapple.
You've gotten stronger since our last battle.
Of course. I rarely trained for strength before, only precision, control. But since you've been around...
That's crazy.
Well, between fighting the entire Justice League's villain roster and guarding you, all I've done is train.
I continue to be amazed by the results you can achieve on this backwater planet. However...
Vegeta erupted into a golden glow of energy, blasting Wonder Woman away. He stood smiling above her. The transformation was still novel to him, but he had no doubt. This was the legendary power he'd always dreamed of.
You've changed.
Changed into something no Earthling could imagine. Look now, Amazon, at a power beyond comprehension. The sleeper has awoken. The legendary Super Saiyan now stands before you.
It's...
More powerful and glorious than you ever could have believed.
It's beautiful.
Aww.
Vegeta was taken aback, but this was no trick or tactic by the Amazon. The radiant glow of the hair, the increase in muscle mass, the emerald green hue of the eyes, they all suited him better. The darkness of them hiding in his soul was gone. She could see deeper into him now. While the prince was focused only on the new depths of Saiyan power, Diana was mesmerized. This form appeared almost divine to her. She asked when he achieved it.
After my battle here, you left that lasso with me. I confronted something deep within that night, and have unlocked the ultimate potential of my entire race.
If that is true, then you have passed this trial. I wanted to push you, unrestrained, to see if you still had ill intent. And it would seem that if you've kept this hidden our entire battle, then you are not the same invader that landed in Coast City those many months ago.
Vegeta knew she was right.
Showing your ass,
He'd
Vegeta.
arrived on Earth a slave, but now the prince had reclaimed both his pride and the power of his race.
Now, are you up to the next challenge?
And what is that?
Kakarot has been gone too long now. I hoped he may have survived, but it still stands that he has left a hole. The people of Earth are missing a champion. I challenge you to atone for your wrongs and become just that.
I'm a warrior, not some clown.
As was he. Believe me when I tell you that there exists no shortage of opponents for you to test your might against. You know cruelty is easy. I ask you to take on a greater challenge. Use this legendary power nobly. Do not squander it as you did in the past.
The two royals stared at each other, the tension rising. Diana was extending herself further than she had planned. Vegeta was surprised at himself. He could have overpowered her, but the truth he'd accepted gave him pause. Could
That nigga trying to get some.
truly become his new life? No longer a slave to Darkseid.
Hey, look, the power of women. I wasn't gonna say another word, but the power of women. You know what I'm saying? Hey, nigga changed a dog into a puppy now. You know what I'm saying? He changed a dog into a puppet. This dude don't even want to be rapping no more. Wonder Woman ain't give him nothing yet. That shit crazy.
But a champion. Vegeta prepared to respond, but Diana's just sleek communicator sounded.
Diana, are you near TV? 'Cause you gotta see this.
With the help of Caulifla, Kale, and the other bombshells, Kakarot was able to return to his own universe, the male Saiyan teaching Caulifla a few martial arts moves and showing her the power of Super Saiyan, while the gangster taught Kakarot some colourful uses of the English language.
Yeah, I'll see you around,
She gonna feel
fella.
that tingle in her
Just you
back.
wait.
She gonna turn Super
Me and
Saiyan.
Kale are gonna have that Super
It's a
Saiyan
tingle
thing
in her
figured
back.
out faster than a cop runs into a donut shop first thing in the morning.
If you think we can, Caulifla,
I bet you will. Till next time.
However, due to the 70 plus years of galactic rotation, Kakarot was still light years away from Earth. Kakarot's next adventure could be seen as one of his most important. On a small mining colony, Kakarot had assisted the blind Green Lantern, Roplop Fan, in freeing the slaves from the corrupt governor of the planet.
I've known a few Green Lanterns, but never seen one with a bell on their chest before.
What other corpse members do you know?
Kakarot talked about his friends from Earth and the latest lantern he'd known, Kyle Rayner. Upon hearing the name, Rotlop Fan informed him of Kyle's location. With this new knowledge, Kakarot instantly headed in search of the lantern, and after a few days of travel, he finally landed on what looked like heaven. A planet teeming with life, filled with strange creatures the universe had never seen before. Grand forests and oceans serve as the paint to create even grander masterpieces of artwork across the surface of the world. It was a haven. Everything that lived there was content. All except the lone figure sat atop a cloud in the sky. Here, Kyle was God, but to Kakarot, he was a friend in need of help.
Hey, buddy!
Okay, now I know I've lost it. I'm seeing ghosts.
I ain't see-through or nothing. It's really me.
It's really you?
You thought you saw a
Yep.
ghost.
Been a while, huh?
In a burst of pure joy, Kyle vanished and reappeared in a flash of violet light, hugging the man who taught him so much as tightly as he could.
I thought I'd never see you again. That you and Bruce. I missed you. I missed you so much, man.
Hey, it's all right. Everything's all right.
Kakarot
He didn't even hug
consoled the
Gohan in this
distraught
fucking
Kyle.
scene.
helping one of the most powerful
You pulled
beings
them
in
off.
creation cope with a simple hug. After the tears had mostly stopped, the two exchanged the details of what they had been up to while they were apart. How Kyle had become overwhelmed by the power of the White Ring. He'd stopped on a single dead asteroid, and now, months later, had turned it into an entire heavenly planet.
Okay.
Part of me was hoping you being around meant Bruce would be too, but I guess he's really gone for good. When I brought everyone back the first time, the entities all spread out. I've still got the power, but the back to life part, I don't think I can do that anymore.
He'll always be with us, so don't worry. He helped both of us become what we were meant to be. Bruce was always pretty clever with stuff like that.
Maybe. I brought everyone back, and for a moment I felt at peace. This oneness with everything. I can't really describe it. But that feeling passed, and I realized just what I'd become. I kept thinking about everything. I suddenly could see the building blocks of creation, and...
Hey, Kyle, take a breath, buddy. Slow down a little.
Right. Well, I freaked out. I had to get away. Touching a dead soul and bringing it back to the living, it's not... I just couldn't deal. So I left Earth, and I've been here ever since. Kind of just making a world. Playing God.
Yeah, I saw a little bit in my ship. It's kinda lame.
Everyone's a critic.
The two laughed, Kyle feeling human again for the first time in months. Kakarot had been right about Kyle back in the fight against Rogolzar. He didn't have anything new to teach him, but maybe they could help each other figure out what to do next. Not as master and student, but as equals.
So you have been keeping up with your meditation. Awesome! Let's practice the breathing after you show me how you make those constructs so easy.
I don't know if that'd work for you, but I guess I could maybe show you what each of the emotions' powers feel like.
Yeah!
Weeks passed, with the two learning and honing each other's powers. When they felt ready, Kakarot suggested a simple beam clash, a tug of war, pitting the legendary Super Saiyan against the all-powerful White Lantern.
Okay.
The two clashed in a beam struggle, Kyle using green will energy against Kakarot's Chaos Cannon. When Kakarot twisted his arms and made his beam bore into Kyle's, something was unleashed in the White Lantern. His will to win this clash was fed by his desire. His desire spurred on by a hope to impress. That hope strengthened by his bond with Kakarot, emphasizing with his love of battle. All of that crashed against a fear of disappointment, which sparked a rage of power. And suddenly, the green beam split into a rainbow of colors before turning bright hot white and completely overwhelming the Super Saiyan's power, stopping just close enough to knock Kakarot firmly on his butt.
Whoa! I've never seen nothing like it! I'm actually really relieved. For a while there, I was starting to think I'd never have a tough fight again.
You look really worn out. Maybe we should take a break.
Yeah. Good idea. I feel kinda dizzy. Could have sworn I could last a little longer than that, though.
Eventually, the two had one
don't forget my
final
nigga the heart disease,
meditation
man.
session, in which Kyle ended by standing tall, looking up to the stars.
Looks like you figured out what you want to do, huh?
There's a whole universe out there. One that's dying. Planets that have lost natural resources. Species on the brink. I think I can help with that. Like no one else really could.
The ultimate art project.
Yeah. One we can all keep adding to. I've just got to sketch the outline.
Kyle brought his hand out to shake, but Kakarot once again responded with a hug, which Kyle had a feeling would happen.
Right. Good luck, Master Sensei?
That makes me sound old. How about just friend?
It was time to go back to Earth. After all, Kakarot had only 2 seeds from Mogo left. He planted one at his feet on this new world Kyle had created. Then, Kakarot powered up into his Super Saiyan form and closed his eyes. He placed his palm onto his heart. This is what Kyle had helped him unlock. The final key to what he saw Kendra do so long ago now. Teleportation. Seemingly exclusive to the Star Sapphires. But Kakarot knew nothing was exclusive.
Okay.
A skill is a skill. You can break it down and understand it, changing it to match what you need. What he struggled with was finding the source of power. Love still needed to be the fuel, but with so long spent away in space, away from home, he did find his mind wandering to one person in particular, and in a flash of violet, the Super Saiyan vanished and appeared next to Lady Shiva, who was currently working the fields of Kent Farm. She had stuck to her promise, looking after the land and cattle in light of Kakarot's absence. The news of his rumoured death not altering her commitment to the vow. She took to the work with as much pleasure as any of her pursuits. Many who feared her would think such things beneath her, but to Lady Shiva, it was something new, a skill in of itself. One as old as humanity, and one she wanted to know if she could conquer. Her other business ventures still continued, but the farm was the place the majority of her time had been spent.
It worked! All right! Yo, Shiva!
Kakarot Kent, you live. And from the look of you, it seems you found the answer to who it was you wanted to be.
Yeah, honestly, I almost messed up big. But I think I get what you meant before. What I have now isn't perfect. But I think this Super Saiyan power can be made to fit where I want to go.
Super Saiyan. These names amuse me. What I see here is the same, no matter what race or culture calls it. Your eyes reveal it to me. Enlightenment.
Thanks for taking care of things, by the way. Looks like you did a really great job.
Kakarot looked over Shiva's shoulder, seeing a rather oddly deep ditch behind where she was standing.
What's with the hole, though?
I'm expecting company tonight.
Before Kakarot could
go ahead and get
question
up out of
further,
here.
Shiva's phone began to buzz. She liked to keep tabs on politics, given it often informed who'd be hiring her next. She looked to find that President Lex Luthor was giving his inaugural speech, which Kakarot took an interest in, popping his head on Shiva's shoulder to watch what was happening.
Thank you, thank you. I stand before you all today for one reason: the truth. Above all, I've always valued honesty. Honesty of intentions. That's something you've all supported me for. No matter what, you always know where you stand with Lex Luthor. Now, given that, I also believe that the truth can be twisted, perverted, and used as a weapon by those jealous enough to stoop that low. But I also remember that it didn't always used to be that way, and that we, as a country, have to strive to be better than those around us. So to my opposition, who portrays me as a racist, sniveling caricature, I can only say this: meet my son.
Hello. I'm Superboy.
Superboy is a Saiyan. That's right. The people that attacked us. A group of bloodthirsty warriors who would send their own infants off into space to die. I found him in a crashed ship. A baby, barely holding on to his life. For the last 11 years, I've made it my responsibility to care for and raise this child as my own. Due to the many enemies I face in my career as Superman, I kept the boy's identity secret to protect him. But now, I've discovered something else. He's not just a Saiyan, but one of staggering power. One of biblical proportions. The Super Saiyan. Knowing this, having been elected to represent the people, I now need to focus 100% of my attention on the matters of state. Superboy is family, and I believe with his help, we can make a real difference. That's why I will only be Superman in moments of global threat, and protecting the people of Metropolis will be Superboy.
I have seen the world as it is. I've seen all the pain and suffering people inflict on each other, while others with ability sit back and let it happen, refusing to bring real change. Maybe I'm too young. Maybe this is all just a silly dream. But I believe dreams drive us. Dreams lift us up from the dirt and transform us. To everyone listening, I swear, until Lex Luthor's dream of a world where respect, order, and justice becomes the reality that we all share as one, I will never, ever stop fighting.
Oh, shit.
You heard the boy. The Super Saiyan exists, and he is American.
Boy, fuck no. Yeah, shout out to the Geek for Fun, man. Hey, crazy, man, crazy. I can't wait to see the next chapter, man. I want to see how Goku reacts to this, and hopefully we see him meet up with the crew, and that's gonna be fire. And yeah, this is great. Make sure y'all check out the last chapter. What if Goku was in DC? And check out was in DC. Not DC Universe, just regular DC. Anyway, check out another story right here, or something you might enjoy. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.